greetings of the day to all the attendees. Keeping up with the tradition of Bhavan Vidyalaya Panchkula, I extend a very warm namaste to all. December 5, 2020 has dawned as a very solemn day in the history of our school that once again we have amongst us a stalwart, an all-rounder, and above all a very humble human being, Sir Shri Vivek Atray ji XIAS. On behalf of the management, Bhavan Vidyalaya Panchkula, Madam Principal Shrimati Gulshan Kaur, staff, and our precious Bhavanites, I, Prerna Joshi, feel honored and all the more privileged to welcome Sir, who has spared his valuable time to share his thoughts on a very imperative topic in the times of pandemic, that is, ensuring all-round fitness, physical and mental. Sir, we welcome you to this virtual session. Sir needs
Thank you
no
very much. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir needs no introduction. He's a well-known name in the literary circle. He has been a conscientious human being and a vigilant administrator. He has left indelible marks at all places he has worked at. As Director IT, Sir was the man behind the Chandigarh IT Park. He spearheaded the award-winning e-Sampark project and also helped to place Chandigarh on a tourism map as Director Tourism. Sir was quoted by the New York Times and the Observer of UK during this period. As DC Panchkula, he initiated projects such as Adar Samman. He was advisor KPMG and PwC on a 2-year sabbatical from government. In the year 2017, Sir resigned from the Indian Administrative Services and now he is blessing and morally purifying the citizens as motivational speaker, author, mentor, advisor, columnist, and visiting professor. Sir has to his credit 8 TED Talks and 3 Josh Talks that have over 3 million views on YouTube. Sir has contributed to the world of literature with his novels Move On Bunny and Dubeji Bounces Back. Sir's column Random Forays in the Hindustan Times is widely read and appreciated. His new venture, Finding Success Within, 52 Life Skills for Young Indians, is bound to edify us all. Presently, Sir is the member of the Advisory Council for Chandigarh. Sir, as you mentioned in one of your TED Talks at TEDx SNPA School, Yamunanagar, that life is not about marks, it is about making a mark. And exactly this is what Sir has been trying to infuse into the youngsters, which is the need of the hour through his highly electrifying motivational words of wisdom. Talking about the youth, our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji on August 29, 2019 launched nationwide Fit India movement, which was aimed to encourage people to inculcate physical activity and sports in their everyday lives. So, as a part of this ongoing Fit India School Week in the precincts of Bhavan Panchkula, of course virtually, we invited Sir Shri Vivek Atray ji to address the students. Sir, we are highly indebted to you for accepting this invitation to be with us at such a short notice. I am sure that everyone would endorse my words when I say that, Sir, you are wisdom personified. And we are truly blessed that a person of such a stature is going to be in conversation with us today. So, without any delay, could I request Sir Shri Vivek Atray ji to address the keen audience? We all are waiting to hear from you, sir.
Thank you very much for the warm welcome. It is a pleasure to be speaking here at Bhavan Vidyalaya Panchkula's event on Fit India. Thank you, Mrs. Gulshan Kaur, the principal and the management for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to speak to students of Bhavan Vidyalaya Panchkula, where I have been many times. And this time it's online, and it's a pleasure. Thank you for the warm introduction also, Prerna ma'am. It is indeed a pleasure for me to speak on the occasion of Fit India Week, because this is something close to my heart and it's very, very important for all of us. It is, in fact, a quote by Jim Rohn that I'll start with. He said, "Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live." That means that we are to take care of our bodies, we are to be physically fit. But I'm also going to talk about something else, which is mental fitness. We are a conglomerate of body, mind, and soul. Each organism, or each human being rather, is not just a body. He or she is a body, mind, and soul. In fact, the scriptures say we are souls and we have bodies. That means we are not bodies with souls, but we are souls with bodies. So, what is it that we have to take care of? We have to take care of our body, mind, and soul. Let's talk about physical fitness first. I am a sports person. I've been playing cricket at the under 19 level. I played Sikhenaidu Trophy twice. I was an opening batsman, and since then I have played tennis as well quite a bit. So cricket and tennis are my two games. Although I have interest in all sports, nothing inspires me more than sports. The Olympic Games unfortunately got postponed to 2021. We all know the reason why, but we don't need to get into the reason. The point is that sports is something which elevates our consciousness. So the first point I'm going to make to all of you who are watching, and I see there are a large number of over 1,000 people on this live session. I'm going to make the first point that we have to raise the level of our consciousness. And raising the level of our consciousness is important not only, as I said, physically, mentally, but also spiritually. How can we raise the level of our consciousness physically? In fact, many people fall ill or become sick or something because their mind is not with them and their body is not with them. In the sense, they have not been eating properly or exercising properly. What is a balanced day looking like for anybody? A balanced day, which is part of a balanced life, is a day when we give enough time to what? We give time to our work, of course. We give time to sleep. We give time to getting ready, bathing, eating, doing various things, little activities. We give time to our family. We spend time with them. And we give time to self development. What is self development? Self development entails, again, the body, mind, and the soul. So, what is the self development of the body? It means that we exercise regularly or play sports regularly. Those who play sports, those who are outdoors, not so much the gym. I'm not a great fan of the gym, but I'm okay if you go to the gym, it's better than doing nothing. So the gym is fine. But if you're playing an outdoor sport, or even table tennis, which is indoors, or badminton is also indoor at times, but it is okay. If you're playing an outdoor sport, you are actually releasing happy hormones, you are releasing endorphins from your body, you are becoming physically supple and fit and healthy. And as you know, people who will play outdoors, they will feel physically adequately tired to go to sleep on time. There are so many children of today, and I've been addressing a lot of parents and youth and teachers. The children of today or the students of today who do not sleep on time are those who do not play or exercise outdoors. If somebody plays outdoors for 1 hour, by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock max, or even before that, they will be sleepy enough to sleep on time. Those who have not done any physical activity will be mentally alert till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Social media will show last seen at 4:30 a.m. and then you wake up at 1 p.m. It's not good for you, because the world is run by the heavens, by God. God made night and day. He did not make daytime for sleeping. He made the night for sleeping and the daytime for being awake. So if the night is dark, it is because you have to sleep at that time. So sleep at night, keep awake during the day, and you'll have an edge over everybody else in your vicinity or your community. So the point is that we should sleep on time, We should eat on time, we should exercise on time, and we should definitely give 45 minutes to 1 hour, especially as youths, as young people, to physical fitness and exercise. I even say to people who are older, who are my colleagues or who are my juniors or even seniors, that you must spend time playing something even at the age of 40, 50, 60, or whatever you are. It is extremely important to stay physically fit. Physical fitness doesn't mean that you have to be like Virat Kohli or you have to be like PV Sindhu. They are extremely fit sports persons, but we have to be adequately fit. And there was on the lighter side, long awaited, very popular picture of two Punjab policemen standing together, and they were about maybe in their 50s now, with very portly structures and big bellies. They were standing with each other, and their bellies were actually touching each other because they were standing in such a way. And the caption was, I wish I could have shown it, but some other time, Punjab police, what a touching moment. Now, that is not a touching moment. It is a joke. And it could happen in Haryana police or Delhi police or UP police or Punjab police or anywhere. Himachal has fitter people because they have to climb up the hill and down the hill. So I haven't seen too many portly policemen in Himachal. But let me tell you that having a paunch is not the sign of prosperity. It is the sign of being unfit. I'm sorry to say, most of us have developed these paunches as life has gone on. What is the point of it? It's not a natural phenomenon. It is something we should be able to take care of. And as you grow, children, you will find taking care of your body a little bit more difficult. Because right now it is easy to play, it is easy to run. And your metabolism, as you have studied in school perhaps, your metabolism rate is very quick and fast. Whatever you eat, a little bit of exercise, it is digested and it goes to the right places. Nobody puts on weight unnecessarily. If you are living on burgers and pizzas, then of course it is a problem even in school. So a Fit India week means that you have to kind of vow that you will eat right. Even I eat burgers and pizzas at times, but maybe once a month, not once in every 2 days or 3 days. Can't be done. Our human body is meant to eat fruit and vegetables. Fruit and vegetables are the most natural diet of human beings. Then comes milk or curd or something like that. Then comes wheat and gram and things like that. These things are okay. I would even suggest that eggs are okay. But those who are non-vegetarian, they have to be moderate in their diet. You have to be moderate. That means we don't go overboard. We don't go overboard with anything. In fact, one of the quotes that I'll give you today, ma'am already mentioned one quote from my TEDx talk, which is, life is not about marks, life is about making a mark. But another quote I'll tell you today is that it is extremely important to exercise moderation in life. Moderation is the key to life success. What is moderation? We don't go overboard in eating. We don't go overboard in even in exercising. There is no point in exercising for 4 hours every day unless you are a professional sports person and spending so much time outdoors and exercising that you overdo it. There is no point in sleeping for 10 hours a day because that is too much. And there's no point in sleeping for 6 hours or 5 hours also because that is too little. We have to find a balance in life to things, and moderation is the key. Moderation means that if you have some bad habit as you grow up, you pick up alcohol or something, again, it is in moderation, nothing overboard. Social media, don't go overboard. That brings me to the mind. We've been talking about the body. You should eat right, you should eat healthy, you should exercise, you should go outdoors, you should look after the body in every way. Build your muscles and six packs also if you want. Don't go overboard though. There's a very surprising interview of a new boy, a new cricketer of Chennai Super Kings. Those of you who watch cricket, IPL held recently in Dubai. So Ruturaj Gaikwad actually got COVID when he went to Dubai. He was the Chennai Super Kings player who was infected when they reached there, and he was quarantined and treated for about 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, he started playing again. He came back. He played for Chennai. In his first two matches, he got zero, I think. and he was almost out of the IPL. In the next match also, I think he got only 5, but Dhoni being a great captain, he had faith in him, and Gaikwad again played. In his last 3 matches, he got 50s, and he played beautifully well. It's 70, 60, 70, whatever it was. In the interview, a very unassuming, shy boy, not even looking very tall or hefty, very thin. And they asked him, they said, so are you into fitness, major fitness goals? He says, yes, I have a six-pack. I was very surprised that this boy who looks very lean and thin has a six-pack. He must be, if he says so. The point is that we can achieve anything we want if we are focused. And the mind is the second aspect. The mind will allow us to achieve what we want. If the mind is egging us on, and the mind is promoting our fitness, and the mind is telling us, you can do it. You can wake up at 6 in the morning and go for a run, or 7 in the morning, or whatever time allows you. Or you can go in the evening at 6 or 7. Or you can do something which others are not doing. Your mind is the one which allows you to do that. If people are sitting and watching Netflix all day, and I know Netflix is free for the Saturday, Sunday, 5th, 6th, everybody is going to watch it. But are we going to do extra exercise after watching Netflix? Our mind has to tell us that this is right and this is wrong. But the mind often tells us the ulta thing, the wrong thing. The mind says, oh no, have another burger, sleep for 1 hour more, watch another 3 hours of Netflix. Don't go for that game today, you can always go tomorrow. Don't do yoga today because yoga can be done day after tomorrow. These are the tricks that the mind plays. And if we talk of mental fitness, there are other things in it. I have written this book called Finding Success Within, which was mentioned in the introduction. And I mention in that book that the mind plays tricks on us by giving us fear, worries, stress, tensions, negativities, cynicisms, complaints, all kinds of criticisms. So the mind tells us to be negative at times. This pandemic is there, the world will come to an end, this will happen, that will happen. Kuch nahi hone wala. Don't feel distressed or depressed or low just because your mind is telling you to feel low. Your mind can be your greatest friend and your mind can be your greatest enemy. This is what Paramahansa Yogananda said. Paramahansa Yogananda, the author of the autobiography of a yogi. He said, your mind is your greatest friend, which means you can tell yourself to achieve the impossible. You can back yourself in exams, in games, in debates, in competitions, in life. I will achieve whatever nobody expects me to achieve. I will be mentally strong, mentally fit to be able to do that. And your mind can also tell you that no, you can't do it. Your mind is your greatest enemy when it tells you, you can't do this. ये आपके बस की बात नहीं. Don't do it, don't try it. You will fail. Again, the mind is telling us that. Mental fitness means that I balance my mind. I am not obsessed with something. I am not driven by something too much. Again, I exercise moderation. I am obsessed with only one thing, and that is happiness. The goal of life is happiness, and we have to try and achieve happiness through whatever means we can: work, family, leisure, self-development. The mind will tell us the right thing and the wrong thing. So the battle of the mind is what has to be won by being mentally fit. What is mental fitness? Mental fitness means mental balance. It means empathy for others. It means confidence, courage. It means not worrying too much. It means not falling prey to depression or mental illness. Many a time I find colleagues, sons or daughters or my relatives or some children who are depressed because there's so much stress on them. Exam stress, competition stress, pressure, expectations. And that is all a making of the mind. The mind of a child who is, or a student who is balanced and happy-go-lucky and confident and calm is a friend of that child. But the mind of a child who is worrying and worrying and worrying, will I get into IIT? Will I get into this job? Will I get into IAS one day? That child's mind is playing tricks on him. Of course, there are forces. There are people saying things, expecting things. I was at St. John's High School one day and I was speaking to the boys, and there I was. A boy got up and asked me, he says, "Sir, my parents keep comparing me to others. What do I do?" A very good question. All children face that. Many parents compare their kids with others. So I was very careful in my answer because I knew that 500 boys are watching, and I will again share this answer with many, many people like I'm doing now today. So I said, your parents care for you, your parents love you. There's no doubt about that. Your parents want the best for you, there's no doubt about that also. Your parents' expectations may be too high at times. They may be expecting that their child will be the world's best or something like that. Everybody can't be the world's best, but you can be good. You may be better than that person or child with whom they are comparing you in certain things. If that child is better than you in studies, you might be better at music. You might be better at sports. You might be better at writing. I'm a writer. I love writing. I love speaking. I think it's a great thing to do. Writing poetry, stories, or anything. There are so many writers among you also, I'm sure. So if your parents are comparing you, take it positively. Don't worry about it. Take it as you will strive to do better. Let them compare. It's okay. Parents, I can't go and tell them that don't compare your child with somebody else. If parents listen to me, I will tell them. But you as young people can listen and you can grow into being balanced. And you can even tell your parents that we had a session and Mr. Vivek Atray came and he said, don't compare us to others. Even if they do, don't argue with them. Don't feel impatient with them. Communicate with them. Don't get into depression. If you are feeling low or sad, bounce back. Bounce back the very next day. Next morning, don't feel low. Get up in the morning and feel confident. So parents are there to protect you, love you, guide you. And if they say something negative or put pressure on you at times, it's okay. You have to be mentally strong to handle that. You have to be mentally fit and equipped to handle what the world is telling you. There's an auntie down the road, she says, बेटा तुम तो बहुत शैतान हो या बहुत बदमाश हो या बहुत खराब हो या पढ़ते नहीं हो मुझे पता है मैं तुम्हारी मम्मी को शिकायत करूंगी और समथिंग लाइक दैट वो जो आंटी है वो तो जाके शी वोंट स्लीप you will think about it at night. Auntie will tell my mama, I will worry. So this is the cause of many problems. This is being mentally unfit, and this is something which you have to take care of. You have to take care of the fact that you will not think too much about what others think. Of course, you have to follow your elders and follow what they say. But mental fitness means mental balance, being resilient, being mentally strong. You can achieve anything in life if your mind is strong. And if your mind is resilient and confident, you can achieve anything in life. And this is something you must really focus on. Do not think of negativity. Do not complain too much. Do not become a cynic or a critic. Do not become a negative person. Mental fitness means mental balance and thinking positively and strongly and confidently and cheerfully. And I'll add to this compassion for others. I speak on emotional intelligence many times. And emotional intelligence is basically about thinking of others, thinking of how you are behaving in others' company. So have a high level of emotional intelligence which is superior to intelligence. EQ is more important than IQ also. So have this balance in your mind. You'll be mentally fit. Read good books for that. Reading good books will give you mental fitness. Watching less TV or social media, spending balanced time with your family is also good. Social media can be good to a certain extent. You can spend some time on it, find out information, entertain yourself, be in touch with friends, but don't overdo it. Mental fitness will not come from overuse of social media. It will be the opposite. I also spend time on Instagram. In fact, all 1250 of you can follow me on Instagram. I'll be very happy. Once you go back home or once this session is over. Not right now. Don't open your phone. The point is that you have to balance your Instagram or your social media usage also. It's very important. Now I'll come to the third aspect of fitness, which is spiritual fitness. You might think this is for elderly people or older people or aunties and uncles or mummy and papa, but no, it is for you. Whether you are 10 years old or 12 years old or 14 or 16 or 18 or 20 or whatever, the point is that you are supposed to balance your life with meditation or prayer or spiritual thinking also. When the exams come, then everybody is thinking of God, right? God, please take care of me. My exam may go well. Please help me in the board exams. Please help me in my competition. After the exams, they all say that, that again during the result, they will remember God and they will start, thinking of Him again. So God gets a lot of WhatsApp messages during the exams and during the results. Otherwise, nobody thinks of Him all year long. So we don't need to be like that. We need to start thanking God for what we have. If you are a thankful child or student, that means you are grateful to your family and to God for a great city like Chandigarh or Panchkula, for a great country like India, for a great family like you have, a great school that you have, teachers that you have. Be grateful. Be thankful. Don't be thankless. Thankless people are worthless people. Those who don't even are not even grateful to their families or parents. Those who don't look after their parents when they grow old. I have been DC Panchkula, and some of you know that. When I was DC Panchkula, I got, unfortunately, many families coming to me with problems with their elderly people having problem with their children because the children were not taking care of the elderly. These are bad things for society. When you have compassion for others, when you care for others, that means you are mentally balanced. You are spiritually balanced. For spiritual fitness, I will give you 2 tips. Yoga is very good, definitely very good. Yoga is not only physical asanas. Yoga means union with God. Yoga means union with God. It doesn't mean only asanas. So yoga means going deep into meditation also. If you don't know how to meditate, go to a website. I'll also write down a website at the end. You can go to any techniques which are there, or even just sit and watch your breath, notice your breath coming in and out for a while, pray to God. Meditation, even for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, will be good for you. So try and meditate every morning and evening. Those who have grown older, they must meditate more. But even young students, it is like charging your mind, body, and soul. Your soul, what is the soul? The soul is a part of God. God has sent us here. I'm not getting into too many scriptures here. But the point is, the Bhagavad Gita tells us that potentially we are God-like. Potentially we are God-like. What does that mean? It means we are not perfect, but we all have some qualities that God has. We all have courage to some extent. We all have compassion to some extent. We all have calmness to some extent. All these are God-like qualities. We cannot reach 100 out of 100 in any of them because we are human. But we can be 25 to 45 to 55 to 65 out of 100. That means that we can try to improve. So spiritual fitness means that I try to do the right thing in life. I have moral values. I have high levels of thinking. I don't live in the bottom of the plane. What is the bottom of the plane? That means I am into these little Dakyanusi kinds of things. Kitch type of thing. I live above. I live on a higher level. Aboveness. You don't need to be a saint meditating under the tree. You can be in the world. You can be doing your job. You can be doing whatever you normally do, and you can still be spiritual. You can be praying to God, thanking Him with the red light green, okay, say thank you, God. Talk to Him, make friends with Him. That is spiritual fitness. That is spiritual living. Be worldly, be wise, be intelligent, be successful in your work, but balance your life with meditation and other things like that. Extremely, extremely important. So this is something that you must keep in mind all the time. Physical fitness, mental fitness, spiritual fitness. Fit India doesn't mean that only people are doing yoga and becoming fit physically. It means all round fitness. All round fit people are those who are living balanced, successful, happy lives. And what is success? Success is not money, power, or fame. I say this in my talks on success. In my book, also, I mentioned it in Finding Success Within. Money, power, and fame are not success. Success means that you find success within you. You find inner happiness, inner peace, true happiness. They will come from success in the world. Yes, to some extent. If you are powerful or rich or famous, you will be called successful, but not everlastingly. Everlasting success comes from conquering the battles within. Fears, worries, negativities have to be conquered. Then you are truly successful. You are a happy person. So I'm going to wind up my talk here and then we may have an interaction. So it is wonderful to have spoken to you all at this celebration of the Fit India School Week. I think Bhavan Vidyalaya Panchkula is a great institution. I have a lot of high opinion about it. I have been involved a lot with the school in various ways, and I know Mr. and Mrs. Kulwant Singh, who are the chairperson and the chair, and they are the chairpersons. And I know the principal, Gulshan ma'am, very well, and all the teachers. I'm thankful to Sonia ma'am also for arranging this and organizing this, and to Prerna ma'am. So over to you now for the interaction.
Thank you, sir, for such stimulating, engrossing, and informative talk. So, without wasting any time, I invite Hiteshwar, Akshata, and Inayat of Class 12 Humanities, who, on behalf of the audience, would like you to satiate the queries of each one of us. Over to you, students.
Namaste, sir. Sir, very few people know that you play cricket also. Luckily, I was in attendance at Taudivilal Stadium on 27th October 2015 when you were playing for DC11. So before that, I used to think that it's almost impossible to maintain a balance between studies and sports. But, sir, after watching an IAS officer play so well, I realized that it's really important to maintain a balance between the two. So, sir, how did you manage to maintain a balance between studies and sports?
Yeah, Hiteshwar, it's a very good question, and thank you for the accolades and kind words. I'm glad that you were there to play or in the cricket match. I have been a sportsman from the beginning, and I think sports gives a young person or even an older person a big balance in life. It is easy for somebody who has played sports to take the setbacks in life more easily, because in sports, one day you will win, one day you will lose. India has gone to Australia as the cricket team and they lost the first two matches. Then they won the next two matches. So the point is that you will win and lose. And sports teaches you this fact that life cannot be a bed of roses. You will sometimes be on top and sometimes you will be on the bottom. So I think my life is more balanced because of sports. And I feel that balance also means that you take out time for what you really love. That means if I love writing, speaking, and sports, I should take out time for it. There's no point in taking 30 years have gone by and you have been working, working, working. You love playing the guitar, but you couldn't find time for the guitar. You have to find time for the guitar if you love the guitar. And leave those social engagements, come back 1 hour early from that party, take out time for cricket or writing or whatever you love. That's my mantra.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words, and I'm sure that Bhavanites will be able to maintain a good balance between studies and sports after listening to you. Over to you, Inayat.
Namaste, sir. Sir, as you always carry a positive aura around, which seems to be relaxed and fearless. So, sir, when you had to take up the decision to leave bureaucracy and take up a very different path in your career, I'm sure there must be some fears and apprehensions. So, sir, how did you overcome those fears or how did you manage that situation?
Thank you, Inayat. Very good question. The point is that fears and worries are part of human beings. They cannot be done away with. Nobody is perfectly fearless. This is not possible because we are human. Even somebody hiding behind the door and the children, say a child is walking and there's a boy standing behind the door, he doesn't know. He'll come out and say, "Bow." And that boy or girl will definitely feel a little scared. Suddenly, who is this? Now, we are human, so we will always react in that way. Nobody in the world can escape that little bit of apprehension or fear. However, when I took the decision to leave the IAS, it was a well considered decision. One doesn't leave the IAS in overnight thoughts. I spent about 3 to 4 years thinking about it. I spent all these years planning what I would do. I became a speaker in my career, in my service, in my IAS days. I had 2 or 3 TEDx talks while in the service. The rest of my 5 TEDx talks are after my service. So the point is that I decided to become a speaker, and I knew that I am a reasonably good speaker. So I will do a reasonable job of it. Secondly, I was very dedicated to inspiring and motivating the young people of India. Now, as was mentioned in the introduction, I have 3 million or 30 lakh views on YouTube, and all these talks which I have given are popular, and I think I've done the right thing by taking that decision. Secondly, I also felt that I'm very creative now, and I wanted to be more into creativity. Speaking, writing, debates, discussions, and even story writing is something that I love. So I wanted to spend more time, and I'm also comfortable in that I'm an advisor to a couple of universities. I'm getting a salary from there, so I wasn't scared in any way, and I was very comfortable in every way, and I took the right decision. So I'm happy that I served the government and the nation for so many years, and I'm still serving in some ways the government and the nation. Very balanced and happy decision. Never looked back.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. Over to you, Akshata.
Namaste, sir. So my next question is in continuity to what Inayat had asked. SWOT is for self-analysis. When do you think you have applied it in your life to give it a desired direction, and how did you do it? So also we would like to know that were you confident when you applied it?
Yeah, so everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and obviously one has to do an analysis before you get into anything. There are so many aspects to every decision, every project, every decision, or every course that you take in life. And it's very, very difficult to foresee everything that will happen. So the thing is to maximize your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. The thing is to take all factors into account, all forces into account. And yes, there are times when you go wrong also. But then there are times when you go right as well. So you have to keep improving. And if your mind is balanced and you are intelligent enough to take on things which you are capable of, I'm sure you will succeed. And nothing should be done impulsively, but definitely at times even being spontaneous is good. Being spontaneous and taking up something which you suddenly decided to take up is good at times, although it shouldn't be, as I said, impulsive or rash. Doing an analysis about it and planning and preparing would be better, of course. But sometimes you are just, on the road or just walking somewhere or just eating something, you get a brilliant idea and you decide that this is something I want to do. And nobody prepared you for that, and there was no SWOT analysis done, but it turns out to be the best idea of your life. So inspiration also comes sometimes, and that is also important.
Thank you so much, sir. Since the questions are never ending, but we do have a time constraint that binds us to a limited number of questions. But I'm
Yes.
sure that all the Bhavanites and the students from schools across the city must have acquired a great deal of knowledge and motivation from your inspiring words. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All three of you are very bright. Good to meet you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, students. Sir, listening to you has been such a pleasure that we never wanted to, end this session. But again, time constraint is there. So could I please request you to give one concluding advice to our young Bhavanites?
Yes, I'm going to give you a formula which you hopefully will remember, and I mentioned it in other places. There are 3 I's that you have to add to your life. That is inspiration, innovation, and integrity. These 3 I's are very important: inspiration, innovation, integrity. And the I that you have to minimize is ego. I know the spellings of ego are EGO, not IGO. But I means that I, always ego centered. So I'm always thinking of myself. That is not the right way to live. So you have to minimize that I-ness. So maximize the other 3 I's and minimize this I, and you should be fine.
Thank you so much, sir. It's really a wonderful advice. So, sir, could I request our Madam Principal, Mrs. Gulshan Kaur, to express her words of gratitude?
Thank you, Prerna. Namaste, sir. So we are indeed gratified for your presence and the nuggets of wisdom that you have shared today with us and all our Bhavanites. Your statements that sports elevate consciousness, meditate to change your body, mind, to charge your body, mind, and soul, strike a balance, have a balanced day, and to be adequately fit, it is extremely important to exercise moderation in life, which I totally agree with you. And success is not synonymous of money, power, and fame, but it is conquering the battles within. These are something, and the way you answered the questions of our children, I had like a long list of questions, but due to shortage of time, we are not able to. But we are looking forward to something more from you. It will not only, empower our children, but be a guiding light for them forever. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing all this with us. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
formulas.
very much. Maybe one day we can just do a Q&A for 1 hour. I don't mind. Let's plan that.
Yes. Yes, so there are a lot of questions bubbling in the minds of children. They wanted to
You
ask you
plan.
about digital cooking. They wanted to ask you about, hikikomori and all such, things which are like so much.
Why don't you send me some questions? Perhaps I'll answer them on email or something. We'll plan.
So we will surely love to. We will post the questions to you and we'll expect your answers and then share it with our children. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. All the best to you all. Thank you.
As the curtains As the curtains draw closer, I would like to take the opportunity of consolidating the thoughts of all the attendees. It was indeed a pure and serene pleasure to listen to Sir, and Sir's sanctified thoughts and piety of character remind us of all those great men who sacrificed their flourishing careers for the larger good of society. I guess we all are taking home what we all are taking home after spending almost an hour with Sir's spiritual and spirited company cannot be measured and described in words. We are deeply indebted to you for sharing these immensely precious views with us. Once again, on behalf of Madam Principal and all the attendees, I extend my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you and namaste.